Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to train your teenagers in the gym. So if you've got a 14-year-old to 17-year-old girl or boy, if they want to become great rugby players, they want to get the most out of their body, this is going to be how. And if you're in that age bracket and you're trying to get the best out of this, all right, all you need to do is follow this. It's a really simple plan. I'm going to break it down and make it as easy as possible so that you can go into the gym, you can get the best results, and you know what you need to be improving, because that's what a lot of kids don't know and parents don't know is what do they actually need to be improving. Now, let's have a look at this first, okay? So over this side, this is actually our most important thing that we need as rugby players, rugby union, rugby league, doesn't matter. Catch pass, okay? So whether you play front row or you play fullback in league or union, you need to be able to catch and pass. And the better you get at catching early catches, the more time you're going to have out in the field. So this is really underrated. These skills here, super underrated. The more you get better at this, the more strings you have to your bow, the better you're going to be out in the field, right? You're just going to have more time. Now, same as tackling. Now, tackling is a skill. So these are all skills you can work at. Tackling especially is a skill. You should be doing some tackling in the off season. Either get down to a wrestling class or do some tackling at the park with your mates. Now you want to break down tackling into its own skills. So what you want to do before even a tackle is made, you want to get really good at tracking. And before you even start tracking someone, so tracking is where you're going to be lining them up, putting them on a certain shoulder and trying to manipulate where they're going to go. Okay, and then putting yourself in the best position to make a tackle. So before that, you need to get good at identifying who you've got. So playing touch footy and things like that are going to be really helpful for you to start working on your tracking, making sure you're not getting beaten back on the inside. You know, where are you putting your hips? So in our rugby, our tackling program that we have, we do a lot of drilling on that before you even make a tackle, what's happening, where are you putting your body? So we're going to get really good at tracking, all right? And that makes the biggest difference for your tackling. Then for your actual tackling, we drill a lot of the most simple areas of the tackle. So how are you dipping into position, all right? And doing that over and over and over and over again so that you are super confident dipping, wrapping, and then taking people down, right? And you do it on both shoulders. That way, the more you do that, the more it becomes a habit and you don't have to think about it in the game, which means it'll take less energy and you'll be fitter because it's easier for your body. Your brain takes up so much energy, right? And if you do that automatically, I tell you right now, playing footy will be so much more exciting. So girls, boys, that is a huge one. And you know, you're gonna help reduce concussions. Okay, so running the ball is a skill. And if you're in that age group, 14 to 17 years, I'm going to tell you right now, the rep coaches always look at ball runners, okay? And they might say they don't, but I guarantee you, if you run the ball a lot and you get really good at running the ball, you can't help but, we notice people that run the ball. Like, think about who you like watching to play the game. You'll see it's always the ball runners, generally. Okay, then, rugby union, rugby league, you have your different skill sets that you need for your position. Now, in that 14, 17 years, you'll start understanding where you're probably going to play. Okay, is it back row, on the edge, whatever it may be. So you'll have different skills for those positions. So you need a really good pass off the ground as a scrum half or a number 9 in league. Whether you're going to be a really good pilferer if you're a number 7 in rugby union. Whether it's throwing the ball in the line out for rugby union, whether it's controlling the games for your halfbacks in rugby league and rugby union for your 5/8s, scrummaging for your front rowers, okay, massive. The more you can hone in on your position and the exact skills you need, and you can get really good at those. So you have a big base of skills here, and then you work on the exact skills you need, all right? If you can do that, even without the physical abilities, you will go places. You will be super good, okay? And because these are skills, they can actually grow so much and you can get so much better. This side of things, this is going to be more genetic, all right? Which doesn't mean that you can't get a lot better at it. Everyone definitely has a lot of capability to get a lot better at it, but it is definitely very genetic on how much muscle fiber you have, okay? So let's get to the physical abilities now. I'm gonna move over here. So our physical abilities. So when you're gonna start training in the gym, you want to know, you know, what am I trying to achieve here? Like, you don't want to just go to the gym and, you know, you're just throwing in anything. You want to try and achieve things that are going to actually help out in the field. So I always go 20 minutes sprint time, right? How fast can you run 20 meters? Okay, 10, 20 meters, that's our most important speed for rugby union, rugby league. You want to be able to take off quickly. And even say 10 meters, like I just said 20 meters, but really 10 meters, that initial takeoff, right? The better we can get at that, right? The more explosive you're going to be, the better you're going to be at defending, the better you're going to be at running the ball. Okay, so we want to sprint 20 meters fast. And that's also going to help you if you change your direction, because change of direction is very much about slowing down and then being able to keep on accelerating, right? So having that power is going to be really helpful. So what you can do is go to the park, measure out 20 meters, and then take a video from side on with your phone, and you can get the exact time you took off. You can edit it, and then the exact time you get past 20, and that will be the most accurate way for an individual just to get their 20 meter sprint time, right? And then what we want to do is make sure our training is going to be beating that, okay? So then bench press 5 RM. So most people in this age group want to put on some size, right? So a 5 RM, which is your 5 rep max, so you couldn't do a 6, will be a really good indicator for, okay, so like say you can do 60 kilos for 5 reps. If we can get you to 90 kilos for 5 reps, your body shape will totally have changed, okay? Because your strength would have gone up, and to have gone up that much, you would have had to have put on a lot of size, okay? And so like I like doing a 5 RM rather than a 1 RM. It also means I don't have to do direct testing, because most of my programs we're using around those 4 or 5 rep maxes. Okay, and you take your first session to realize what you get. I'm going to get into our training part a bit more, but I'm just going to go through these. So your chin up, that's going to show you relative strength. I'm just going to show you arm strength and your back strength. So just doing 1 RM on that one. You could do a 5 RM if you wanted to. That's fine too. Then you got your broad jump for distance. Okay, so we want to see how much power you have in your legs. Okay, so you're just jumping. We have a 5 single leg bounds. Okay, so we're seeing how reactive and how good your tendons are in your legs. Okay, so I find the fastest guys and the guys who get the most speed are the people who really work on this. So I always keep this in my program. So if it's a warm up or a part of the speed day. Then we have a back squat heel elevator, so we're going to be testing out your leg strength, mainly the glutes and quads. And I do a heel elevation because it's more quad dominant, because you'll be staying a bit more upright and you can sit right down. And quads are a really important part of rugby training. So you could do a front squat there if you wanted to. That would actually show quite good how good your your quads are, but most people aren't comfortable with their front squats yet, so it's not a good indicator. But a back squat heel elevation, everyone can do. It means that we get, we know exactly, we can replicate that again essentially. So like everyone can pretty much sit all the way down. I know they're not just going to go to 90 degrees, right? Or even less. So like what you see a lot of with testing, people will just go halfway down or a quarter down, or they'll start off at halfway down, and then the next time they go test, they'll only go to here because they've upped the weight. Whereas if I make you do a heel elevation, I say you have to sit on your heels. That way, next time you come back and do that, I know exactly how much you've actually grown, like how much you've gotten stronger. So you got your Nordic hold, really good one for your hamstrings, reducing knee injuries, speed, Nordic hold, which is just you're holding a Nordic as low as you possibly can for 10 seconds. All right, and we want to keep on improving that. It's not the greatest of tests, but it's just good to see where you're at with that. And then your Romanian deadlift 5 RM. So Romanian deadlift is a stiff-legged deadlift, and you're just going down to where just under your kneecaps essentially. So halfway down your shin, and that's going to show like your lower back strength, your hinge strength. Now your hinge strength is going to be really important for that tackling aspect. Okay, being able to get into those positions. Now we want to have some sort of fitness. So I like a Bronco. You can do whatever fitness test you like, but a Bronco is easy. You know, you should be aiming for around that 5 minutes, no matter who you are. Start aiming for 5 minutes and under. Hang power clean. So as you advance, you want to be able to do these sort of things. Hang power cleans. You've got to be training for a long time. If you're 14 or 17, you know, and you want to play footy for a long time, then like you've got to be training in the gym for 13, 14 years. So I always teach my kids how to hang power clean, which is one of the simpler versions of weightlifting, and it's showing how explosive you are. So it's speed strength. So it's showing you how fast you can move a weight, essentially. All right. So it's a really good test, and I'm sure when you go into academies and I know a lot of NRL clubs and even rugby union clubs will test hang power cleans, or they'll just test power cleans. I'd prefer from the hang because it's a bit easier and you can really focus then. It shows the same thing as well. Then your lateral jump, so you want to be able to jump how far you can jump laterally. All right, how much power do you have there? So they're some basic tests, right? Like they're not the be all end all. They're not everything, right? You can do other things, right? Like you can add in things to this if you wanted to, but they're just a good guide for you to get. If these are going up, I am doing really well. And as a 14 to 17-year-old, all of these should be going up, okay? Because you haven't tapped into the muscle fibers yet that you want to. So as you age and as you progress and as you get, you know, to the top, you might be only working on a few of these things because a lot of these might just be in maintenance, okay? And that's what usually what happens is like, okay, my chin up is really strong, my bench press is really strong. How am I gonna get this up? I just gotta maintain those now. So they need less work and this needs more work, okay? And that's what happens as you progress. And like when I have more advanced people, then I start really working on certain aspects of things. Okay, so that's going to be on our app, okay? So you can go onto our app, Rugby Development Coach, download it, and that is going to be a session in there. If you go down below, I'm going to put a link down below of how you can get that, okay? Now nutrition, I'm going to touch this very quickly because this video is not too much about nutrition. I'll do longer form videos on nutrition. First thing with nutrition is you need to work out how much you are eating. Okay, so work out exactly how much you're eating in a week, okay? Take that and then be like, okay, am I trying to lose fat here or am I just trying to gain muscle? Most people will be trying to gain muscle. If you're trying to gain muscle, you want to be in a surplus and you want to make sure that you're getting 2.2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight, okay? Or 2 grams or whatever. It's roughly there, okay? And you want to get that from your diet. You don't want to have to go and supplement that. Like there is no need for you to go and supplement that. Unless you're really struggling. The only reason why I tell people to use protein shakes if they're struggling to get them enough meals in a day, right? It's like if you'll have sport in the afternoon and you've only eaten lunch and you haven't eaten again before sport, sometimes a protein shake is a good thing, right? You can get a high protein meal, you can add some honey into it or something like that, and you can get carbs and protein and off you go. But generally, I'm like, you don't really need it. Like creatine, great supplement, but do you need it? It really depends on how much red meat you're eating. If you're eating a lot of red meat, probably not. If you're not eating a lot of red meat, then yeah, maybe you need creatine. Okay. How to train. So this video isn't going to be heaps about how to train. All you need to know is like this is what we need to get better. Okay. This is what we need to get better. When you go to the gym, I've got other videos on splits. So go into our other videos, look at my gym splits. But I like 3 days in the gym and 2 sprint days. That's probably my best programming I've seen with rugby players who have gone on to do great things, gone to the Olympics, gone into professional sport, is 3 days in the gym. It's very achievable, and you're also gonna get the extra sprint work, and it gives you a lot of time to work on these things as well. Okay, a lot of kids especially will go and do bro splits in the gym, where it's a bro split is like a bodybuilding split, which is like chest one day, back another day, legs another day, and they're just waste of time. Like they're built for bodybuilders, and those people are enhanced, so they're taking anabolics, and that just doesn't work anywhere near as well for a natural athlete. And so what I found is either the 3 day or the 4 day split way better. So a lower upper split is going to be way better. Now when you're in the gym, you've got your 5 RMs, right? So like if you did your bench press 5 RM, say it was 60 kilos, you did 5 RM, what you could do is walk in and now you're gonna do your bench press, 60 kilos, but you're gonna do 4 reps, okay? And instead of doing 5 reps, you do 4 reps, so you left 1 in reserve, okay? Which means you could probably get another set of the same. So you could do 2 sets of your 5 RM. Now the next week or the next time you come and do it, so maybe you do that on Monday, and then on a Wednesday, you're gonna come back and you're gonna do the same thing, right? But this time, you're gonna try and do 1 set with the 5 RM and another set with the 4 RM. Okay, so like you would do the first set, you'd get 5 reps of 60, and then you would do 4 reps of 60. Okay, then the Friday session, you'll come back in, you'll do bench press again, you'll do 5 reps, and then you'll do 5 reps again. Okay, and you see, that is how you progress. That is how you actually get strong. And that way you're doing bench press 3 times a week. You could do that for your squat, you could do that for your chin up, you could do that for your shoulders, just depending, right? Like, as a beginner, here's the thing, like you haven't tapped into a lot of muscle fiber yet. And the reason why kids actually grow a lot in the beginning is not because they got a lot of hormones, it's because they haven't tapped into muscle fiber yet. So you have a limited amount of muscle fibers that you actually have, all right? And so when you haven't trained, you haven't tapped into any. So as soon as you start training, doing anything, you're going to start tapping into these muscle fibers, and part of their job to make you stronger and to be able to adapt to that is to get bigger, okay? And so as you progress and you keep on training, it actually slows down because you have less and less and less muscle fiber to tap into. And as you become more advanced, you have to be more specific on how you're going to tap into that muscle fiber if you want to get the absolute most out of it, okay? So as a beginner, you could be doing this 3 times a week, whereas an advanced person wouldn't get that same progression rate, okay? So they might not do a bench press 3 times a week. They might do a bench press, an incline bench press, a dip, or a fly, and that would be a much better progression because their progression is going to be slower. But as a beginner, you can get a lot more out of that. Like you can get so much out of just continually going up. And then by week 3, you could be doing 6 reps of what your 5 RM was. So you're already stronger, a lot stronger than what you'd previously been. You could be doing 6 and 6 by week 3. Almost only a week and a half in, and you're doing your 3rd workout and you're already a lot stronger. And that's how progression models should work. And this is where a lot of kids and trainers, S&Cs go wrong, is they don't have good progression models. Okay, and so what I do with my programming is like, I show you how to progress on each lift, what you should be going up by each week, which is really critical for your growth over a long time. So when you're in the gym too, what you could be doing with this stuff is you can be doing power stuff. So say you're doing your bench press, I'm just using it as an example, you can be doing bench press, you can be doing some power push-ups before it. So just like a couple, 3 or 4 power push-ups where you're doing as fast as you can, trying to get as high as you possibly can. All right, and that's going to help build that power aspect. Say for your squats, if you're doing your squats, right? Say you were doing your squats and you wanted to build power too, then you could be doing your broad jumps with it, or you could be doing a seated box jump or a lateral jump. There's so many different things you could be doing in between or just before it, which aren't going to affect the actual exercise, and will actually make it better. So there's things that I add into my programming. Now, in my programming, if you're a bit younger and you only got 2 days a week, do our Junior Rugby Academy. It's only $90 for 3 months of training. You get the bodyweight programs, okay? You don't have to do the bodyweight programs, but if you're not confident going to the gym yet and you're not up to the weights, do the bodyweight first. If you're 14, the bodyweight is awesome. Like that'll actually develop so much strength, and when you go to the gym, you'll be so ready for it. And we also got a 2-day-a-week one in there, so you'll get 2 different programs for the price of one. And the 2-day-a-week is awesome. Like when you're not ready to go 3 or 4 times, 2 days a week, you're going to get so much results out of. And yeah, it's actually the one I recommend most for kids starting. And then as you progress, like we have our super player program, which is more a speed-based program. So we're going to be doing more stuff to build up our 20-meter sprint time. And then our maximum muscle program, which is going to be building more of these ones. your bench press, your chin up, your squats, your RDLs. Okay? They both will build up all of these qualities, but the two are just slightly different, okay? One's more speed-based. So if you're looking for speed, do the super player program. And then you have options for 3 days a week or 4 days a week. It's up to you. Yeah, for your Bronco score, we have our, if you get the membership, you can get the the Bronco program, which is a 6-week program. And I've seen people go from 6 minutes down to 5 minutes on that pretty easy. I've seen people go down to a 4:15 was one of the best ones I've seen actually from a 5 minutes in just 6 weeks. So it works and it's very short. So yeah, there's lots of options for your programming. If you don't want to pay for the programming, that's fine. Just use the app, get your scores in there, and then you can actually make your own workouts in the app if you wanted to. All right, and that way you're recording your workouts. You know what you need to do each week. You know you need to beat it each week, and that's how you're going to keep on getting stronger. And so yeah, that's everything from this video. If you have questions, make sure you message me on Rugby Development Coach on Instagram or Facebook. Send me a message and I'll get back to you. I can answer any questions. I'm always happy to chat about gym, footy, whatever. I just want to help people get super strong and let's make some awesome rugby players.